ठीक है सर, वही प्रॉब्लम हो गया।
Friends, and I wish you all the best to everyone on this earth. Happy this World Environment Day, and I welcome all of you to this special lecture series. Uh, I am Professor Deepak Shrivastava, Vice Chairman, University Grants Commission. On behalf of University Grants Commission, I extend a warm welcome to all the esteemed Vice Chancellors, faculty members, dear students, staff from higher education institutes across the country, and my colleagues from UGC who have joined online for today's Chetna lecture series on World Environment Day. Friends, you know that this United Nations declared on 5th June 1972 the United Nations World Environment Day, and we are celebrating every year uh, to tell about the significance of environment protection and the development, as well as awareness to the common man. You may be aware that environment is becoming a big challenge, and so as climate change, it is one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations. You may also be aware that uh, our Prime Minister, Honorable Shri Narendra Modi ji, has started a campaign last year on 5th June 2024 about the campaign about Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam. And I'm very happy to share with you that as per the records available to me, as on date, more than 109 crores plants have been planted in the name of Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam. So I'm very happy to see the involvement of the public. And friends, this Chetna series of lectures by UGC are a regular feature and are live streamed on all social media platforms of UGC and are viewed by many heads of institutions, faculty members, and students. We are honored today to have among us Professor Chetan Singh Solanki ji from IIT Bombay, who is our expert speaker for today's lecture. Professor Solanki is a globally respected educator, innovator, and the founder of Energy Swaraj Foundation, which is known as the Solar Gandhi. He has walked the talk quite literally through his Energy Swaraj Yatra, inspiring citizens across the country to adopt sustainable lifestyles. His lecture today on the topic, quote, on a finite earth can we afford ever-growing consumption, unquote, raises a fundamental question that must guide our collective future. I would like to share that UGC's commitment to environment education, and we brought out the curriculum framework for environment education at the undergraduate level in line with National Education Policy 2020 in the year 2023. We are also in the process of developing MOOCs courses on climate change, renewable energy, ESG, and indigenous knowledge. It's my pleasure to welcome our keynote speaker for today, Professor Chetan Singh Solanki ji. Through his pioneering work in solar energy and the Energy Swaraj Yatra, he has traveled across India, not just lighting homes, but also lighting minds. So, Professor Solanki ji would be taking around 30 to 35 minutes for his discourses on the topic, and which will be followed by question and answer, a small question and answer for about 20 to 25 minutes, which will be coordinated by our social media team of UGC. So I request Professor Solanki ji to take on from me and deliver his keynote address on World Environment Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Deepak. I hope I'm audible to all.
Yes, please.
So thank you very much, and very happy morning to all the participants, Honorable Professor Deepak Srivastava-ji, Dr. Vineet-ji, Dr. Diksha, all the Vice Chancellors, and everybody else who is listening to me. Very happy World Environment Day, and I have made a rule, Professor Deepak. I have been traveling, that I've been asking people, how are you all? And people normally respond that I'm fine. And I normally say that with so much of science and technology, and God has given us TV, fridge, and mobile and everything, and we are stuck only at fine level. Gita says that behind every single act, there's only one purpose, that is to be happy. So that's why I made a rule that I only talk to happy people. So while you're listening to me, even if you're not happy from inside, fake it till you make it, adopt this formula, and let us be happy and smiling. So thank you very much for giving this opportunity to talk in this Chetna series. And I'm going to share my screen. Yeah. I hope it is visible to all.
Yes, please.
Great. So it's a very, as Vice Chairman already mentioned, Professor Deepak, that it is really raising a basic question on, and what is a better day to discuss than the World Environment Day, that how can, on a finite earth, we can keep growing our consumption. And my warning is that if you're going to listen to me, I'm sure you're going to change. And if there is a problem with the change, or if there's an allergy to change, I would suggest do not listen to me carefully. But I've been talking about it all over the country. As the Professor mentioned, I've been traveling. So the agenda of today's talk will be really bring you clarity on what, why, and when, and how of climate change. And many people do not have clarity, or they have very surface level knowledge and not understanding, and the result is that the climate change is worsening every single year. I'm going to introduce you the concept of the finite earth, and most importantly, what I can do in my day-to-day life. I think that should be the biggest takeaway for all the vice chancellor, and I hope you're all going to translate this takeaway to all the young students for whom we are actually working so hard. And unfortunately, they are the one who are going to suffer the consequences of climate change more than anybody else. By the way, I'm a professor of IIT Bombay. I'm a married person. I have two daughters, but I have left my home for 11 years. I have placed that for 11 years, I will not go home. I was on unpaid leave for 5 years. All this not because I have gone crazy, but because climate change is worsening every single year. So I have traveled over 65,000 kilometers, spoken to some 1,600 locations, and met many, many people in this yatra. It is continuing part of it. And sorry. So let me begin with asking this basic question. If I take a picture of the planet Earth today, how does it look like, from the Earth? Well, there are three possibilities that we see. Either we see a growth of resources, or the ecosystem, or sustenance of it, or degradation. What I observe clearly, that all these things which are not essential for survival, like AI, computer, mobile, they're all growing. But everything else that is essential for survival, air, water, and soil, without which we cannot survive, they are all degrading: air quality, water quality, soil quality. So the question that we should all be asking ourselves, is there something wrong? And I see there is something wrong in the way we have been living on this planet. Wow, and that wrong has resulted in what is called climate change. Summers are not same anymore. The winters are not same anymore. Monsoon is not same anymore. Everything is different. Not only they are different, they are accelerating. The every summer we say, oh, we have never seen such summer. We have never seen such monsoon. And right now I'm in Mumbai, but this kind of monsoon was never there, because already started from 10th, 15th May. It's supposed to come at 10th or 15th June. So climate is not only changing, it is already changed. rather it is accelerating. And the root cause is not deforestation, not plastic, not air pollution. A lot of people are confused. The root cause is the use of energy. Ever since we started using energy, and this is the proof of it, that we started using carbon-based energy right in 1850. Then by 1900, we started using crude oil. In 1950, we started using gas. And look at today, 2025, we are using coal, oil, gas, solar, wind, biomass, hydro, nuclear, everything. But look at the coal, oil, and gas, that is the greatest contribution. Almost 80 to 85% energy that world is consuming today comes from only carbon sources. Solar, wind, biomass, hydro, nuclear, a very small portion. So what does it mean? It means 80 to 85% of actions that we make in our day-to-day life results in carbon emission. An equation is very simple. Carbon plus oxygen equal to carbon dioxide plus energy. We are all using energy. When I'm lighting, I'm using energy. When I'm traveling, I'm using energy. When I'm eat food, I'm using energy. But what most people don't realize that when I'm wearing my shirt, I'm using energy. So every action is use of energy, and every action is emission of carbon dioxide. The question to all of you, where do we throw this carbon dioxide? And of course, answer is in the atmosphere. Everything that we do, we throw carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The fact is that science and technology is growing, but the atmosphere is not growing. It is not growing. So what we have done, in my words, we have made our atmosphere as a big garbage bin. There's one garbage bin that sits in our home, but this is the garbage bin that is our home, the bigger home, the planet. Unfortunately, the home's garbage bin, you can empty it, but this garbage bin, you cannot empty. So that is the problem. Our garbage bin is getting filled from every single activity. Professor Deepak, I keep giving example that how brushing teeth is a dangerous activity, right? Why do I say dangerous? Because to brush my teeth, you need toothbrush, toothpaste, that all needs to be manufactured. Then we do not know where your toothpaste is manufactured. It has to be transported thousands of kilometers. Then it has to be stored in the shop. Then you go and buy it. You also need water. For water, you need pipe. For pipe, you need iron that has to be mined. You need motor. For motor, you need magnet and copper wire. You need overhead tanks for that cement, concrete, iron. That is not enough to brush our teeth. We need wash basin. For wash basin is ceramic, 1800 degrees centigrade melting temperature. You need mirror, you need bulb, you need electricity. So many items are required just to perform a simple basic activity of our day, that is brushing teeth, just 3 to 5 minutes. Now imagine what happens throughout the day. Every time when you send a WhatsApp message, you're emitting carbon dioxide. Every time you're using a paper napkin, you're emitting carbon dioxide. Every single consumption is carbon emission. Please note down this line. Every consumption is a carbon emission. And this carbon emission is going into the atmosphere, and look what is happening. We have been pumping and pumping and pumping. Thousands of years, the atmospheric concentration of CO2 was finite and 280 parts per million, but today it stands at 428, 429. There is 53% extra carbon dioxide. What does it mean? That we humans have changed our atmosphere by 53%. Can you believe it? We have changed our atmosphere by 53%. And this carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. It is going to trap the heat, and as a result of that, planet is becoming warmer and warmer and warmer. 2024, by the way, was the warmest year in human history. Can you believe it? 300,000 years of Homo sapiens living on this planet has never been so warm as 2024 was. And for every physical system, there is a threshold. So for this also, there is a threshold. For atmosphere, there is a threshold. Like a rubber band, when you pull it up and leave it, it goes back to the original state. But if you pull it beyond certain point, it will break down. Similar to that, our atmosphere also has a threshold points of the global warming. And once you cross that line, there is going to be a breakdown. What are those threshold? Well, the first threshold is 1.5 degrees centigrade. Second ultimate threshold is 2 degrees centigrade. And by the end of the century, 2100, you are going to cross either best case scenario 3 degree or up to 6 degree. What is going to happen at 1.5? Irreversible climate change will start. And at 2 degrees centigrade, it will be completely reversible. But look at the timeline where we stand today. We stand very close to 1.5 degrees centigrade. In just maybe 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years, we will cross this first threshold just by 2029, 31. How much time is there for 2 degrees centigrade? 20, 25 years. That's it. We don't have centuries of time. Please wake up and realize we are just talking about, first threshold is 4, 5 years, second threshold 20, 25 years, and beyond that no human action will be of any use to correct the climate change. What thing will happen? Only thing that will happen is more floods, more droughts, more heat waves, more forest fire. The life survival itself is going to become difficult and difficult, and by the end of century there is a question mark whether human life will survive or not. If you are going to survive, how many will survive, and in what shape and size we are going to survive. So it is a really, really big wake up call, and please start doing something. Now the $1,000,000 question is, what is that something? What should I do? How do I correct the climate change? And I think it's a very, very important that you listen to this carefully, because most people don't understand it properly. Well, first, let me ask you a question. Who has caused the climate change? And I always ask this question, and a lot of people answer, what? Humans have done it. I have not done it. Then I have to ask them, are you not human? Then they will come up and reply, we have done it. And I would say, no, that is wrong. Not we have done it. Every use of energy and material, direct use, food, travel, electricity, indirect use, clothes, buildings, cement, road, furniture, toothbrush, toothpaste, we are all using energy and contributing to the climate change. And who is using energy? It is I. Who is wearing clothes? It is I who is wearing. Who is eating food? I am doing it. Who is enjoying the AC right now? You're sitting in a hall. I am doing. So every individual is actually causing climate change by his or her actions. Whether rich or poor, American or African, doesn't matter. In small or big quantity, everybody is contributing. So let me ask this question and you can repeat yourself. Who has caused the climate change? Answer is I. And if I have done it, who is going to solve it? I will do it, right? Not the government or industry. Also, it is very important to understand what is not working. In Indian system, when we want to teach somebody what is truth, सत्य क्या है, तो हम पहले समझाते हैं असत्य क्या है, right? So if you want to figure out a solution, let us figure out what is not working in climate change space. Well, planting trees, collecting plastic, policy making, technology development, economic growth, these are the tools that we believe are going to solve, but they are not proving sufficient. And why I'm saying they are not proving sufficient? Well, there have been policies since Kyoto Protocol 1997, Paris Agreement, COP meeting. We have been developing technology, going to the moon and Mars, and solar has become advanced. EV has become advanced. Green hydrogen, what not? We have been recycling plastic and collecting plastic. Planting trees has been, like Prasadeep, has been their great drive. Economy has been growing all over the world. All this problem, is it resulting in a solution, or the problem is becoming bigger and bigger? And a simple observation will tell us that no, climate change is worsening, which means all these tools are good, but they are not proving sufficient. And therefore the $1,000,000 question is, what is the solution then? Well, one more point before I give you the solution is that recognizing that climate change is an emergency. It is not a normal situation. Why it is an emergency? It is accelerating. Change is accelerating. We are very close to 1.5 degrees centigrade. Business as usual approaches are not proving sufficient. And climate change will become catastrophe on health and food, and everything will get affected. So eventually the survival itself is going to be painful and costly. And therefore there is no time to lose. What is the solution? Well, one more point before I go. Who can respond to the climate emergency? And I've been asking this question, who is the one who's going to solve and ultimately be the the savior for all of us? Can it be governments? Well, you can also know that all over the world, whether America, Germany, Japan, the governments are elected for a short time, 4 to 5 years. They have different priorities, limited resources, not enough money all the time available. Can industries do this? Well, industries survive because of the profit, and they will do everything to make profit, and there is nothing wrong in that. And therefore profit means you have to actually do more and produce more. But I believe the academic institutions where we are nurturing the young minds and who we are shaping the life of our future generation, where the future stake, I think, has to play very, very critical and crucial role. And therefore, who can respond to the climate emergency? It is the academic institution. It is that child who is in a school today, who is in university today. That child is going to survive longer and therefore also going to suffer more. And that's why I believe sincerely that it is the responsibility of every academician to actually take this call and be the forefront of climate correction. What is the solution? Well, something cannot be changed. That you have to fundamentally remember that 2 plus 2 will only be 4, irrespective of how much science and technology grow, right? So we have to realize some fundamental boundary condition planet. And until unless you follow that first step, what is the first step? Fundamental boundary condition. No amount of science and technology will help us. What is that boundary condition? Well, answer means yes and no. You know the answer yourself. Okay. Is science growing? Yes, it is growing. Are technology improving? Yes. Economy is growing? Yes. Size of the planet Earth growing? No, it is not. Amount of minerals growing? No. Amount of soil growing? No. Nothing is growing on this planet, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, size of our planet is finite. Every resource is finite. Nothing can grow, and we take everything from the planet. Our shirt, our vehicle, our furniture, our tiles, everything comes from the planet, which is not growing. The problem is why there is environmental degradation every single day. The problem is we are consuming far too many things. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are consuming resources equivalent of 1.7 Earth, but there is only one Earth. What does it mean? We are depleting resources, and that you and I every know by experiences. This year, by the way, in 2025, on 25th July, all the ecological balance of the Earth will get exhausted much before 31st December. And from 25th December onward, we will be living a stolen life. We will be stealing these resources from our children and grandchildren. So the fact and the fundamental boundary is this, that on the finite planet, with the finite resources, there can only be finite consumption. और यही अनंत सत्य है. You cannot change this. No amount of science and technology can change this. So the first step, before you want to become sustainable, before you want to solve the problem of climate change, before you want to stop global warming, before you want to purify and your water stream and mountains, what you have to do? Limit your consumption. We are already consuming far too many things, and that is exactly the reason why today on this World Environment Day, after 5 years of my living on the bus and traveling all over the country, I have figured out that the ultimate approach to the solution to the climate change is limiting our consumption. So today we are launching what is called the Finite Earth movement. The Finite Earth, finite consumption, because every act of consumption also aids to the environmental degradation and climate change. This is the fundamental that we all must first understand, absorb, and then pass on to our student. So remember one thing, every time when you do something, when you buy something, when you use something, just remember one thing, that yes, I can afford, but nature cannot afford. Why? We forget this, that every time when my salary increases, a businessman's profit increases, when we earn more money, what is the first thing we do? We buy more things. We forget that every time my money increases, my capacity to buy increases. Nature's capacity to supply does not increase. Nature's capacity to supply is finite. And therefore, one single formula, if you can use and write on your walls everywhere in the university, I can afford, but nature cannot afford. And this is what I have been telling all the time, everyone, and this makes a lot of sense to people. Also, I would like to appeal, let us make Finite Earth movement as a mass movement. Let us go beyond economic reasoning, policies, technology dependence. Why? Because we have seen that these are the tools that can be good, but not enough. We are running out of time. So we need to make this as a mass movement. Every individual is using energy. Every individual is emitting carbon dioxide. Therefore, every individual has to be part of the solution and reduction in carbon emission. Why? Because its survival itself is going to be more and more difficult. Once upon a time, just 5 to 10 years ago, I have been telling, we were in a thrival mode. We were been thriving community all over the world. Our life expectancy was growing, our health was becoming better. But now it is in a reverse mode. We can already see the anecdotal experiences, how the things have started going in opposite direction. As a result, the water quality, air quality, the soil quality, depression level, stress level, violence level, all are going in opposite direction than we wish to. So let us make it a mass movement. We are launching this movement today to reach out to 1 billion people. Within our own capacity, I think we should do this. Academic institution alone can do 1 billion people, 13% of the world population. And we don't have edges for this. We have set the target to reach 1 billion people by 2027 December. And why I believe it is possible that we can reach out to billions of people? Because inaction is the action required for the climate correction. This is another of my statement that you can write down. What we have to do, we have to not do something because we are consuming resources of 1.7 earth. First, you have to cut down that 70% extra that we are using. By the way, I'm a professor of IIT Bombay, but at my home, there is no refrigerator. There is no geyser. There is no air conditioner. There is no microwave. I have stopped ironing my clothes. I do not use soap for taking bath. And there are so many things that I don't do. And the good thing is, uh, I'm happy and healthy, right? So using less thing is not going to make it miserable, but you are going to be more healthy, more happy, and you are going to contribute to the climate correction. So therefore, everyone should join the mass movement. And by not doing something, by avoiding not to use something, it does not take money, time, and technology. You can do just like that, and billions of people can just take part in this movement today by avoiding to do something, because every action, every consumption is a carbon emission. And therefore, I believe whether somebody is American or African or Indian, rich or poor, young or old, rural or urban, every individual can take part in the climate correction. I also would like to inform you that FEM, the Finite Earth Movement, is universal. It is all encompassing. What it encompasses, it is definitely in line with the mission life of Honorable Prime Minister, the national mission, that lifestyle for environment. And what the Prime Minister Modi has been telling all the time, he has been telling, let us make a transition from a mindless to mindful consumption. And the Finite Earth Movement is all about mindful consumption. I'm going to give more handles to that. Finite Earth Movement is global, and it is called to the entire world that we have to take action right now. And Finite Earth Movement is a youth centric, because it is all about young generation who is going to live longer and suffer more on this planet. And therefore, again, the academic institution can play important role. So let us all say together that we have one planet, there's one movement, there's only one future, and the Finite Earth Movement is for all of us. That brings me to the last section of this discussion today, what I can do in life. We have learned climate change is a very serious change in weather system. It is caused because of the carbon use energy. Every consumption is a carbon emission that we have seen, that I am responsible for emission and therefore the climate change. And we have to limit the consumption as a first step before technology and policy becomes useful tool. And finally, the most important, the question is what I can do in my day-to-day life. And I hope all of you are excited to follow this. And for this, what you need to do, we need to follow the climate action framework that I have created. By the way, I've been professor at IIT Bombay more than 20 years. I have been traveling all over the country and the world. And after living in the bus and or living on the road, literally, I have learned this from my experiences, the climate action framework. What you can do to join this Finite Earth movement, and what is the climate action framework? Number one, you have to change yourself, transform yourself. Your own lifestyle should change, because I am the cause. I consume, I cause, and I must correct. And what you have to do, follow 2P habits and AMG approach. And I'll come to 2P habits and AMG approach. What is this? Very, very beautiful framework. Number two, it is not enough that you and I reduce carbon emission. We have to build our team. We have to spread it, because we don't have time. We cannot wait for the policies and technology. We have to do it right now, because carbon dioxide has no boundary. Once you emit, or your neighbor is emitting, or your neighboring state is emitting, or your neighboring country is emitting, everyone has to pay the equal price. Carbon dioxide has no boundary. Number three, I keep saying that it has to become a public movement. It has to be by the people, for the people. And therefore I thought that it is important to make public this as a public movement with the support of public only. And we seek contribution from people. Let us inspire and engage others so that we can spread the movement beyond the state's boundary, national boundary. Let us make it as a global movement. So these are the three things you can do: change self, build a team, spread it to others, and contribute. What is the climate action framework? Well, first of all, it is not enough that I put solar on my rooftop and we solve the problem. It is not enough that I will buy electric vehicle and we'll solve the problem. It is not enough that we plant the tree and we'll solve the problem. No, absolutely not. Every action is carbon emission, and therefore every action has to be taken care. And if what I have done, I have divided our life in 5 habits, what I call them 2P habits. And what the 2P represent? It represents almost 100% pie of the carbon emission. And what we have to do, follow this 2P habits. What is this 2P? By the travel, use items, purchase items, eat, and electricity, this all equally almost 20-25% carbon emission from each of these 5 sectors. So what you have to do: travel less, use items wisely, purchase cautiously, eat carefully, and eliminate electricity waste. By the way, eat carefully, it is there in the climate correction, because almost 25% of the carbon emission in the world happens because of the food. Can you believe it? 25%. Our food itself, the way we eat and produce itself, has become very dangerous. So travel less, use items wisely. Whatever you have, don't just replace it, repair it, reuse it, refurbish it. Don't use single use item. Purchase cautiously, because every time when you purchase something, you are actually not purchasing a shirt, you're purchasing your water that has gone behind it, the carbon emission that has gone behind it, the fertilizer, chemicals, pesticide that have gone behind it, all kind of pollution you are also purchasing together. You don't see this, but every purchase is a purchase of an environmental degradation. So purchase cautiously, eat carefully, and eliminate electricity waste, which is becoming such a integral part of our life. And what you have to do in this 5 climate habits, what you have to do is follow AMG approach, not RRR approach, not reduce, reuse, and recycle. That was a wonderful framework, but that will not work in today's context. Why? Because prevention is 1,000 times better than. So avoid what is avoidable. If you cannot avoid it, minimize with the efficiency. There are everything you can do in an efficient way. And if you cannot minimize beyond certain point, generate locally. That is the formula. For example, travel less, avoid the long distance travel. Once a family of 5 people travel 1,000 kilometers for summer vacation one way, the whole family is traveling 10,000 kilometers. That 10,000 kilometer means 2,000 kilograms of carbon emission, which means cutting 2 big trees. So by not going for summer vacation itself is such a great contribution for climate correction. So avoid, minimize, generate. For example, electricity. What do I do? Avoid the wasteful use. Daytime, there's so many things that are working. ACs are working when people are not there. Avoid it. If you cannot avoid it, minimize it. Use efficient appliances, lights, fans, TV, fridge, refrigerator. Everything can be super efficient. It can save. Avoid and minimize, by the way, itself can save at least 50% of electricity. And all the vice chancellor, and I'm requesting you, I have demonstrated you in the country with the CSIR, with the AICT, with the Indore city, that collectively we can cut down on our electricity usage significantly without putting solar. By the way, avoid and minimize. And generation has to be the last approach. What you can do in day-to-day life, as I said, I'm just quickly going to go through as we come close. That travel less. Do not travel long distance summer. Avoid, for every day you can avoid, minimize 2 kilometer travel. Combine your activities, and local 1-2 kilometer, just walk or cycle. Use items wisely. Well, avoid all single use item. Repair before you replace, so minimize it. And convert your material into some other use, that is local generation. Purchase cautiously. Do not buy until you really need it. Delay it as much as you can. sell or share before you buy, so you minimize it and buy locally produced items. When terms of eat carefully, avoid packaged or online delivered food. This is all a menace in the country. There's so much of garbage lying around. So avoid any packaged and online food. Do not waste the food, because every grain of rice or wheat that comes on your plate has gone through the lot of cycles. Minimize it. Buy locally produced food. And electricity, I already mentioned, you can avoid using all these high power appliances, geyser, refrigerator, ACs. I have avoided in my home. Or if you want to do it, minimize it. Don't put AC below 26 degrees centigrade. Install solar system, generate locally. So let us adopt tupi in our life. It is the tupi. You can all put tupi all over your campus, so that you can bring the awareness. What tupi says, tupi is our musket, by the way. It says, on the finite planet, let's have finite consumption. And the beautiful part of all this thing is, there is a portal where you can actually register every action that you take. Not only that you register, you can earn carbon correction point. Your student get certificate and badges. So our climate action portal is free for everyone to use, absolutely free. And it allows university to register, create a unique link, send it to your student, and you can monitor the entire university who is doing what. So it is a beautifully designed portal based on 5 years of experience. And as I said, people can log in there, they can register their climate action, they can do the shopping of climate action, by the way. Like, you go shopping online, and then you can earn climate correction credits. You can invite other people also. You can build your own team, become volunteer, and all this is for free. So this is how it looks like, by the way. Just very quickly, go to www.energyswaraj.org. Join the movement. When you click join the movement, you get 3 options: join as individual, or institution, or network leader. Network leader means if there are many organizations under you, then you join as a network leader, because our portal allows you to create a link, send it to your other organization. They will create their own link, and then they can send to the student, and everybody can monitor each other. So that's a beautiful portal, very powerful, simple, and free. Once you log in, this is how it looks like. You'll get a menu card. You can choose your own climate action. You can decide, I'm going to do today, not use a plastic bottle. From today, I will not buy a pair of clothes this year. I will not travel. I mean, there's so many things you can do. It is arranged as per the 2P habits. Travel se start hota, then you go to other thing. And then once you add to your card, it goes to the right hand side. Action gets added to your climate, and each action carries a CCC points. It is equivalent of how much carbon approximately you can save. And once you perform the action, your potential CC points becomes a earned CCC point. And once you have enough points, you can get certificates of climate enthusiast, climate hero, climate sustainable, champion, etc. And if all this is done under a banner of organization gets all the CCC point, and you can actually get a real sustainability ratings, which is all encompassing. It is not only about planting trees or putting solar. No, it is about every aspect of human life. The beauty part is, on the left hand side, there is a referral link, right? So every student, once they register, and everybody who registered becomes an automatic volunteer. Each person who registered gets a unique link and unique code. Through that unique link and unique code, all your students can actually invite others. Many of you can make it as a part of environmental course. Many of you can make it as a 1 credit course. Where they do this, they go to the other, they invite other, they go to the community, bring other people on board, and all this data is recorded on the portal, and everybody is awarded with the CCC point. So get certificate, badges, sustainability rating, everything is possible at one single platform. In summary, I would like to remember you the 6 mantras that I have developed. This is the ultimate mantras of climate action. You cannot miss any one of them. What is the mantra? Number 1, recognize that climate change is an emergency. We need urgent actions right now. Even if it means to stop your classes for 1 week, 5 weeks, let us do that. First, bring this sense to everyone, because we are absolutely running out of time. Number 2, on a finite earth, there can be only finite consumption. You cannot bypass and violate this boundary condition. Number 3, every act of consumption is carbon emission. Make sure that it goes inside. So next time when you send a WhatsApp message, your mind should warn you that, look, is it really necessary? Because by sending hello, good morning, I'm actually emitting carbon dioxide. Let us realize that I consume, I cause, so I must correct. the responsibility lies on me, because I want to live healthy and happy, and I want to leave behind a livable planet for my children, my student. Fifth, climate correction starts with the practicing 2P habits, all category where carbon emission happens, not one. So travel, food, consumption, eating, electric, everything has to be accounted for. And number 5, for each consumption, follow AMG, avoid first, minimize second, and generate as a last option locally. 5 immediate thing you can do is become part of the member, become the partner in the Finite Earth movement. And for that, you need to just go to our website www.energyswaraj.org and register. Then by registering, you become a partner. You can start and establish a climate action cell. And I would request Professor Deepak, can we not guide all our universities to establish a climate action cell headed by the top leadership? Put a 2P cutout, and then commit yourself to contribute for this moment. By the way, all this material that is required for you to start the climate action from today is available on this particular folder. You can go through our website and do it, but you can also go to this bit.ly/fame-folder. Everything that you need, logos, posters, cutouts, how to raise, everything is available in this portal. So finally, at the end, let us say finite earth, finite consumption, and let us remember that I can afford, but nature cannot. And with this, thank you very much for joining me on this beautiful occasion, World Environment Day. We are launching the Finite Earth movement, and I hope all of us is going to be part of it. At the end, those who wish to be part of the movement and help us in making it is a global movement, please come forward and also contribute. I really want that it is for the public, and the public should support, and only public should drive it. Then only it will become a global movement. So with this note, thank you very much once again for your kind attention.
Okay, thank you, Professor Solanki ji, for giving a very enlightened discourse on the environment and climate change and the consumption. So, participants who are attending this today's lecture, our Chetna lecture series, and I also request my social media team to please coordinate it. What you can do is that you can raise your electronic hand, and my social media team will unmute you and will allow you to ask a question to Professor Solanki ji, who will take a call that whether he should take it up subsequently. So you can raise your electronic hand, and my social media team will manage it.
By the time somebody raised, there's a question that Sarah Khan is asked, can you share a success story? Definitely, there are many stories. And let me tell one story of Indore city. Indore is the cleanest city in the country. And I told the mayor of Indore that, look, you're clean, but you're only clean in the visible garbage that we can see, feel, and touch. But there is an invisible garbage of greenhouse gases that we are not bothered about. For your information, the visible garbage is 150 kg per family per year. And the invisible garbage of greenhouse gases, guess what? 10,000 kg per family per year. Family of 5 people. Believe it, 10,000 kg. So basically, we have to worry about that invisible garbage. And in Indore, we have run a campaign called Indore Climate Mission. We have asked people to reduce wasteful use of electricity consumption. And we run a campaign for 3 months. And we have monitored for 2 months in June, January, and February of 2025. I'm very happy to share you that for the entire city, believe me, it is a city that has participated. We have saved 1.51 crore units of electricity. That is the equivalent of installing 65 megawatts of plant. So 65 megawatt of solar plant. So by not doing something, just by awareness, we could save 1.51 crore in just 2 months of time, which is equivalent of saving 12,000 big trees planted. So that is a very powerful story that tells that if we all come together, how powerful the collective action can be.
Okay, there is a question from Dr. Navjeet. Please unmute.
Yes, sir. We
Navjeet
just
Kaur.
Yeah, good morning, Dr. Navjeet. Please go ahead.
Sir,
Yes.
it was a lovely session. Thank you so much for delivering this wonderful, much needed, informative session. Sir, I personally, this topic is very close to me, and I try to advocate it in my circle, not at a professional level like you do. But I do come across one very important point that I observe is that as long as you tell people to do some inconvenient changes, they are okay with it. But as soon as we approach them with some change that will require them to question their conscience, they start defending themselves, especially like if we ask them to adopt a more of a plant-based lifestyle. So have you come across some obstacles like that, and have you been able to overcome to convince people that moving towards a more sustainable lifestyle is not just about plastic straws or not just about paper bags? It's much beyond that. So what
Absolutely,
is your take
Dr.
on it?
Navjeet, you have made a wonderful point, and I come across this question every single day. That number one, it's about every aspect of life, that is important. And then people, when it is convenient, they may make a small changes, but the real change is difficult. So I keep giving this example. Why people don't change, because they don't understand it. And
Yeah,
once somebody
yeah,
asked Mahatma Gandhi, Bapu, why people do wrong things? What Bapu said? He said, because people don't understand the outcome of that. And once they
right.
understand the outcome, they will actually change. And he has given beautiful example. He said, the king cobra, the snake cobra, right? When cobra
Yeah,
is going, when bites, we are going to die.
yeah,
So what happens when cobra comes in the hall where people are sitting right now? What is going to happen? Will people pick up the cobra and say how beautiful cobra it is, or they're going
yeah,
to try dekhte hain kaatta ki nahi kaatta, or
yeah,
they are
yeah,
going to
yeah,
run away? They will all run away. And I keep jokingly saying that कोबरा दिखे तो भागना चाहिए, भारत के संविधान में नहीं लिखा है, ना उसकी
hmm,
ट्रेनिंग दी जाती है, फिर भी कोबरा देख के सब भागते हैं. You know why? Because we know from the depth that the bite is
yeah,
going to kill us, and therefore we do not understand that my brushing teeth is going to be aid to the carbon emission. We do not understand that एक पे दो free मिलता है. When there is a sale, एक पे दो free है, we buy three. But we do not understand the disaster that we aid by taking three clothes instead of one. So if you look carefully, our daily life has become disaster for this planet, as simple as this. And that disaster is going to be borne by our own children, our own grandchildren, nobody else. And I keep requesting all the parents that for the god's sake, do one thing. Don't educate your children, don't collect wealth and create wealth for them, but do one thing: leave behind a livable planet. Our children are smarter than we are. They will live better life than we are living, provided you let them live. And for living, we need only three things. What are the three things? You need a planet where they can breathe clean air. We need a planet where they can drink a glass of water without filtering. And we need a planet where we can eat food without chemicals. And today I can tell you, no parents can guarantee the pure air, the filter-free water, and chemical-free food. So my request to all the elders is to let your children live, because our daily life is contributing to the climate disaster every single day, every single hour, every single minute.
Okay. Is there any other question, Diksha ji? Could you please check, or maybe you can share some of the questions which
One
have come
question
up.
from
Which,
Hari Mishra ji. Please ask your question. You have raised your hand. Hari Mishra sir from NMIMS. Please ask your question.
By the time Hariji comes, I see one question. Let me respond to the chat box. He said, I minimize my consumption, but last week, a few weeks back, I went to a marriage where there was so much consumption and wastage that all my savings actually gone. Well, who has asked this? I think Mr. Jatin Singhal ji. Well, don't worry about that. Yes, I have to perform my duty, and if I know there are people who are really wasting and too much consumption happens, but I think the change has to begin with me. I should be the change that I want to see in the world, as Mahatma Gandhi said. So irrespective of what others are doing, I should do and then encourage others. It has to become for example, I stopped ironing my clothes, and let me give logic that if you iron your clothes, ironing is a very high power activity. It takes 800 to 1000 watt of power, and if you use 5 to 7 minutes to iron your clothes, it's almost 200 grams of carbon emission. What I keep telling people, that it is not me who's wearing non-iron clothes should feel shy, but somebody who's wearing iron clothes should feel shy. We should actually, society should distinguish that somebody is coming with iron clothes means he is emitting carbon dioxide. When society starts thinking and behaving and appreciating what is good for environment and it is good for them and my children and their children, I think that the tide will turn in a very, very quick time. So let us respect what is really more important, and not emitting carbon dioxide is more important than anything else. I think once a broader society starts respecting that, the change will happen, and it will happen very quick, just like that. Now you can ask the question.
Yes. Diksha ji, please see, I think there is some Hari Mishra.
Sir, we did unmute him. Maybe we'll take the question from Pramod Chaturvedi ji. Sir, please ask your question.
नमस्कार सोलंकी साहब, मैं भोपाल से बोल रहा हूँ। प्रोफेसर प्रमोद चतुर्वेदी। यहाँ एक गर्ल्स कॉलेज है, सरोजनी नायडू, नूतन कॉलेज जिसको कहते हैं, और यहाँ पर मैं कॉमर्स पढ़ाता हूँ, सिखाता हूँ, सीखता हूँ, और लगभग 14.5 साल तक मैं प्रशासन अकादमी में भी एज फैकल्टी रहा हूँ। एक्चुअल में मेरा प्रश्न तो नहीं है। सबसे पहले तो मैं बधाई देना चाहूंगा कि आपने बहुत अच्छे मुद्दे पर्यावरण संरक्षण के लिए उठाए हैं, और उसके लिए मैं आपको बधाई देता हूं। आपका जो पोर्टल आपने बनाया है, इसको निश्चित रूप से हम उसमें शामिल होंगे, हमारे कॉलेज की बच्चियां भी शामिल होंगी, और मैं निश्चित रूप से जो मेरे ट्रेनीज रहे हैं उनको भी इसमें मैं शामिल करूंगा। तो एक बहुत अच्छा आपने किया है। मेरा प्रश्न एक्चुअली वही, सलवटें बहुत अच्छी हैं, रिंकल्स आर गुड, ठीक है, इस कैंपेन को बढ़ाने के लिए सलवटें अच्छी हैं। आपने बता ही दिया मुझे, तो आपने इसको जोड़ रखा है, बहुत अच्छी बात है ये। और मैं यहाँ पर हमारे यहाँ कुलगुरु कहने लगे हैं आप, तो कुलपति महोदय हैं यहाँ, वाइस चांसलर साहब हैं, श्रीवास्तव साहब। तो मैं भी ये कहना चाहूंगा कि कहीं आप जब एकेडमिक लीडरशिप में, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में बात करें सर, तो इस पोर्टल से जो बच्चों को बैजेस या क्रेडिट मिले, वो क्रेडिट उनके कहीं इंटरनल असेसमेंट में उनके एनवायरनमेंट का एक पेपर होता है, कहीं ना कहीं वो क्रेडिट उनको यदि मिल जाए तो बहुत अच्छा होगा। और दूसरा, एक सर मेरा और सलाह है कि जब आप एकेडमिशिया से बात करें, हमारे कलीग से बात करें, तो आप पेपरलेस के ऊपर जरूर जाएं। कि पेपर जो इंटरनल असेसमेंट देखता हूँ, अपने कॉलेज में ही देखता हूँ कि जो इंटरनल असेसमेंट होते हैं उसमें बच्चियां जो है प्लास्टिक के कवर में 10-10, 12-12, 25-25 पन्ने लगा करके और प्रिंट निकाल करके लेके आते हैं, तो बड़ा दुख होता है। तो कहीं ना कहीं हमको इसको डिस्करेज करना होगा और एनकरेज करना होगा उन प्रैक्टिसेस को जहां पर के पेपर का यूज हम मिनिमम कर सकें। तो बहुत बहुत बधाई सर, और हमारे कुलगुरु साहब को भी बहुत बहुत बधाई कि आपने बहुत अच्छा एक वेबिनार यहाँ पर प्रारंभ किया है। थैंक यू सर।
Thank you very much, Professor Pramod. And I have been to your college, Nutan Girls College, couple of times, and I have been one of the solar system that we installed. We have trained people to actually install their own solar system. This is what I've been teaching also, that every student, every professor can come together and solar power their own homes, and they can do yourself. But thank you for reminding the basic thing, not submitting assignment in plastic itself can make a huge difference, because it will get multiplied by crores of people. And wrinkle achhe hain, Professor Deepak, we have started this campaign called Wah Wrinkle Achhe hain, and almost 8 lakh people have joined. So we call it Wah Monday. So Monday, I recommend that anybody who comes with the iron cloths should not be allowed to come into the university. So let's say Wah, and what it does, it's not only about not ironing clothes, it is about forcing our mind to think. The moment we start doing one action, the other action will automatically follow. So let us start taking this action. Let us reminding each one of us that everyday action and every hour action is important, not some action on the World Environment Day.
जी, आपने ठीक कहा। आयरनिंग करना केवल आयरन से ही नहीं होता, ट्रेडिशनली और कन्वेंशनली मैंने अपने बचपन में देखा है, उसको बिस्तर के नीचे भी दबा करके लोग रखते थे, तह लगा करके, और उसके ऊपर सो जाते थे। और जब वो सुबह हम लोग उठते थे तो वो अपने आप ही ऑटोमेटिक हम ही प्रेस कर देते थे लेट करके ही। तो वो मैं बहुत, आपने जो बात कही रिंकल फ्री, ये मेरे को बहुत बचपन की बातें याद आई। उस समय ये सब इतनी तकनीक उपलब्ध नहीं थी, तो वो भी एक मेथड है कि तकिए के नीचे या बिस्तर के नीचे लोग लगाते थे, और वो सफिशिएंटली क्लॉथ भी थोड़ा अच्छे क्वालिटी के कॉटन क्लॉथ्स हुआ करते थे. एनीवे, वी विल टेक फ्यू मोर क्वेश्चंस. दीक्षा जी, there are several hands raised.
Yeah.
You can unmute.
Sir, we will
And
try
call
to unmute Hari Mishra, sir, but unfortunately वो नहीं जुड़ पा रहे हैं.
Okay, he can send a message. He can write a message.
Professor Sunil
You
Kumar,
unmute
Professor
others.
Sunil- जी सर, मैं बाकियों को करेगा. Professor Sunil Kumar, sir, please ask your question. Dr. Sandeep Sharma, sir, आप सवाल पूछ लें.
Am I audible?
You are.
We can. Yes.
Sir, namaskar. You are a few warriors who have taken this initiative. Before asking my question, I will just put 2 points. When there is a jeans, we wear jeans. One pair of jeans costs 300 liters of water. And everybody, every household, our young generation, they try to buy many more jeans. Number 2, whenever we discard our shoes, it pollutes the environment for the next 300 years. And when we do not want to go for repairing. Second thing is about the repairing shops are actually reducing. You won't find a cobbler. Mochi jisko bolte hain.
Professor Sandeep, I got your point. So thank you very much. This is what we should do it.
Yeah.
That is what has to be. And by the way, I want to share a small thing that once I was sitting, Professor Deepak, I was invited by Economic Times in Delhi. I was sitting in a Marriott hotel, and in the lobby I was relaxing in the afternoon a little bit. So I removed my shoes, and somebody took a photo of my socks. There were many holes in my socks, and and then somebody asked me, sir, abhi to badal lijiye. And I said, I'm a professor of IIT. I can buy 100 pair of socks, but nature cannot supply, and that's what I am telling everyone here, that the society should come in a way, particularly academic world, where less is preferred. Anybody who comes with a big car, if society starts saying कि जो बड़ा गाड़ी में आता है वो कार्बन एमिशन करता है, उसके साथ कम चाय, उसके साथ बैठ के चाय नहीं पिएंगे, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, उस तरह का परहेज होने लगे सोसाइटी में, all this, the change will happen very, very fast. And that is true. If somebody is coming with a big car, he is emitting carbon emission. That carbon is going to affect your life, my children's life, and everybody's life. So let us appreciate that less is better. The less consumption is better, because the planet is finite.
Okay, so respecting this idea of finite consumption or mindful consumption, we have 4 minutes left to what we have promised. So we will take selectively 2 to 3 maximum questions, and the other questions you can maybe tell your email ID, or we can note down and share with the participants, or maybe those who are attending. They can keep asking those questions. So maybe 3 minutes now. Diksha ji, please.
Registrar MAU Jodhpur, sir, अपना सवाल पूछिए.
Thank you, Diksha ji, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Professor Chetan Singh. I am great कि आपको आज लाइव सुनने का मौका मिला. मैं बस couple of seconds में अपनी बात पूरी करूंगा. मौलाना आजाद यूनिवर्सिटी जिसको मैं रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा हूं, मैं सबको दावत दूंगा कि सब लोग यहाँ पे आए, जोधपुर में हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी को देखें. हम लोगों ने 100% तो नहीं जा पाए, लेकिन मैं कहता हूँ अबव 90% हमारा रिसाइकल मटेरियल यूज हुआ है पूरी बिल्डिंग में, और लोकली हम लोगों ने जो वहाँ की लोकल पत्थर है, चीजें हैं, उसको यूज किया है, और उसका आर्किटेक्ट टेक्नोलॉजी में काफी रिसर्च करके काम किया है. उसकी लॉन्ग लास्टिंग हम लोगों ने तकरीबन मानी है कि वो 500-600 साल के लिए बिल्डिंग सस्टेन करेगी. और हमारा पूरा फर्नीचर 100% फर्नीचर हमारा रिफर्बिश्ड है, रिसाइकिल्ड है, और उसमें भी हमने कोशिश ये करी कि कम से कम हम कोई केमिकल या कोई चीज यूज करें, जैसी आई उसको थोड़ा बहुत मॉडिफाई करके हम यूज करें. 100% सिटिंग कैपेसिटी हमारी जो है रीयूज पे है. और दूसरी चीज जो मैं कह रहा था कि रिंगल अच्छे लगते हैं, उसके ऊपर स्वामी विवेकानंद जी का एक कोट, एक वाक्य है जो 2 सेकंड में पूरा कर देता हूँ. एक बार वो बाहर कहीं ट्रैवल कर रहे थे, वो लंबी स्टोरी है, लेकिन किसी ने कहा कि जेंटलमैन यू हैव अ वंडरफुल नॉलेज, लेकिन आपने कपड़े बड़े अजीब से पहन रखे हैं, आप जेंटलमैन क्यों नहीं बनते हैं, जेंटलमैन बन के रहे. तो उन्होंने कहा कि हमारे यहाँ जेंटलमैन विद्या बनाती है और आपके यहाँ जेंटलमैन दर्जी बनाता है. तो जस्ट वेयरिंग अ टाई एंड अ कोट एंड पैंट इज नॉट मेक यू अ जेंटलमैन. जेंटलमैन इसकी आपकी सोच है.
Very nice. Thank you very much. And it's wonderful to hear that you've done all the recycling and used material. Maybe one last question, but I would like
Yes.
to again reiterate that on our portal, you can all register. Some students were asking in chat box, what can I do? Well, every time, everybody who register on a portal will automatically become volunteer. You can build your own team on the portal. So once you create your own unique link, which will be there in referral link, you can invite your friends, family members, you can put it on social media, build your own climate action team, climate correction team. And it's all available on the portal, and you can easily do that. Maybe one last question.
Last question, Dr. Meenu. You can take unmute Dr. Meenu.
Okay, sir. Dr. Meenu, please ask your question.
Unmute करिए.
Sir, कर दिया.
Thank you so much. It's a really wonderful discussion, sir. Actually, hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much giving this opportunity to talk with you all leaders. And really, sir, I'm thankful to you. Maybe I was searching this type of team because I'm working for the last 5 years, this thing. Actually, I'm working on the compost. I'm already, my mother-in-law always taught me like how to segregate the garbage at your home and kindly don't create the waste outside. Another thing, sir, they have given me a slogan, Char kapde kafi, baki sab barbadi. So they have already given this slogan to us every time, and really this is very helpful to me. Before that, we were having 3 washing machines, so many, clothes. As the woman is having this perspective, we have to buy more and more. But now really we are appreciating their slogan, and that's really clicked in our mind. And we are having only 5 and 6 clothes at home, restricted one. And really I'm very happy at home because I no need to manage more. So this is solution for the, this is really, I want to give this solution and slogan to all. Char kapde kafi, baki sab barbadi. So
thank you very much. Just one last point I want to add, Professor Deepak, as I said, the society has to make a new fashion. जिसके पास कम कपड़े वही मेरा friend है, वही मेरा relative है.
बिल्कुल.
And to make it fashion, I have decided, I have 2 daughters by the way, and we have decided कि जब भी मेरी बेटियों की शादी होगी, शादी में सिर्फ उन्हीं लोगों को बुलाया जाएगा जो बिना प्रेस के कपड़े पहन के आएंगे. बाकी
that's really good.
Let us all create a fashion like that. The less is more, the less is better. Yeah. Thank you so much.
प्रोफेसर मनीष जोशी जी ने ज्वाइन किया है, हमारे सेक्रेटरी यूजीसी हैं. मनीष जी कुछ कहना चाहेंगे आप? और यू प्रपोज वोट ऑफ थैंक्स. अनम्यूट करिए दीक्षा जी मनीष जी को. मनीष जी अनम्यूट करिए, नहीं हो रहा. दीक्षा जी.
जी सर, कर दिया सर, सर अनम्यूट कर दिया. सेक्रेटरी सर, जोशी सर.
नहीं हो रहा. Anyway, so
Manish ji there.
I take. जी ठीक.
So it was
आप वोट ऑफ थैंक्स आपके तरफ से होगा.
ठीक है. It was really nice. I was listening on YouTube also, and it was many people are watching live on YouTube also, our channel. So the beauty of this particular series is that it is always available online, so people can watch it later on also. And we have seen that thousands of teachers and student faculty also watch it later on also. So it was a very informative and very slogan oriented, but it is like the slogan has come from his own behavior and his own, he is following all those slogans. So it has a weightage also. Otherwise, these are not mere slogans. So thank you very much for giving a sort of motivation and sort of looking forward, and hopefully eye-opening session someone has written over there just now. So really thank you for that. And even my PS was listening to you. So when you told that you are not using AC and geyser, she was shocked, like how it can be possible. But let us try to do that, and we hope that we will be able to do. And ultimately, as you have given a long-term goal that our granddaughters and grandsons should that filter-free drinking water and all that. So thank you very much, and I'm thankful to all the senior leaders, academic leaders who are influencer that way, so they can influence the society, and even your one word will make a great impact on the society. So I request that we shall put our weightage on this particular, which sometimes we don't talk in this type of situation. So let us be talkative on this particular issue, and we go forward. Thank you very much to all of you for attending this particular session, and we hope that next year when we will celebrate this one, it will be in a more pollution-free day and more because of our efforts. Thank you all.
Thank you, Manish ji, and thank you, Professor Solanki ji, and thanks to everyone, including our social media team and Dr. Diksha Rajput for coordinating and organizing it. Thanks to Professor Manish Joshi ji, Secretary UGC. So we close it with a promise that we will follow the directions and maybe suggestions of Professor Chetan Singh Solanki ji. In principle, we agree, and we will try to use our products, etc., with a mindful approach, and there should be mindfulness. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best, and wish you once again happy Environment Day. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you.
We
Thank
close
you.
it. Yes,
Happy
please.
Environment Day, everyone.
Yes, thank you.